Hello. I am going to make sure everybody is set up and can see me all right. And do not worry, this recording will be later seen in the content coaching corner. I will make sure that that is there for you. But if you are on live, if you want to just drop me a hi or a hello, letting me know that you are watching so that I know that you are here. I am also going to tag at everyone so that everybody knows that it is here. And we are good to go. So good morning. Hello. No, it is 12 o'clock. It is afternoon. I have to tell you guys that I am really excited today to talk a little bit about engagement strategy. And I became really aware of this being an issue when I was working with one of my clients. And if you don't know, I do something called the Chic Branding Experience. It's a one-on-one service to help people with their branding. And one of my clients was getting super frustrated because she was doing this really great content. She'd really up-leveled her messaging. It was really clear who she served, but for whatever reason, she was not seeing a lot of visibility. So she wasn't seeing a lot of changes and she was really frustrated. And how many of you right now are convinced that the algorithm is almost out to get you? How many of you right now are really struggling with visibility or engagement, or you see that maybe the same couple of people that you're used to are engaging in your content, but they're not really interested in what you have to offer. And so there's this frustration maybe in what you're doing, and it's just not sitting well with you. Well, if that is you, I want you to know that today I am going to do a quick training on engagement. And before I go into the tips that I have for you, I want to remind you about the purpose of Instagram. The entire purpose of Instagram as a business is to keep people on the platform longer. And you know by being on the platform that there are often going to be ads that are shown to you. You know that it is a B2B. You know that there are people who are using Instagram as a way of building a business. Well, Instagram knows that too. And Instagram as a business wants to keep people on the platform longer. And so by keeping people on the platform longer, they are seeing their income go up. And the reason that most people are struggling with their Instagram account is because they aren't playing to Instagram's rules. And Instagram's rules are super simple. Engage with people who are most likely going to be on the platform longer because you are keeping their attention longer. If you are engaging and socializing on social, Instagram goes, let's feed her content out. Let's move her content to the front. Let's make sure that she is seen by the people who would most likely want to purchase from her or invest in her or engage, most importantly, engage in her content. It is that simple. If you're hitting a stumbling block with Instagram, chances are it isn't about the content necessarily. If you really feel like I am applying the BES, I am using my keywords, I have a really strong hook, but you're still not seeing your engagement grow, I have to go back and ask you, but are you doing what Instagram wants you to do? And that's engage. Are you creating engaging content? So what I would like to propose to you is to build into your time blocker time for actual engagement. And if you don't have this built in, I want you to know that it's going to be normal for you to feel like you are circling the mountain. No matter how good your content is, no matter if you've done the Chic Branding Experience or you haven't, if you aren't engaging on social media, you're only going to be seen so far. Sure, there might be some viral content. Yep, something might click. But at the end of the day, if you want more control over your feed, it comes down to engagement. And so let's say that you realize this is a big goal of yours. You want to see Instagram growth. You want to see more sales and signups. You want to be more intentional with your content, and you want to be really good about using your time intentionally on social media. Meaning You don't want to just mindlessly scroll looking for creativity anymore. You're going to get really good at the engagement strategy. And here's a couple of things that you can do. So if you only had 1 hour on Instagram as a direct seller, here's a few things that you can do. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to do what Melanie called in a story set yesterday, the 10 by 10. 10 minutes of your time is going to be spent before and after your content is posted with engagement. So you might break this down a little bit. It might be like 8 minutes, 12 minutes, but something along the lines of 20 minutes are going to be the bread buns of your hamburger. In the middle is going to be you posting the content. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to engage with our platform with people who have engaged with us maybe in the day before, maybe in our stories, maybe they've commented in our content. We are going to go onto our own platform and we are going to engage with those who have been on our platform or who have engaged with us. That's going to be step one. If it's the people that you engaged with the day before, it's totally okay. You're still going to be forming those relationships, conversing with them. If you're saying, Katie, I don't really have a lot of people, engage with the people that you do have. And then what we'll do is we'll get to the rest of the strategy and you can spend more time there. So you're going to spend time sandwiching. You're going to look at the before and the after, engaging with those who engage with your content from the day before. And then afterwards, you're then going to engage with people who are engaging with your content or in your stories. Sandwiched in between that time is going to be actually posting your content. You're going to post your content making clear that it has a clear call to action so people know what to do with it. You're calling them to engage in some way, whether it's commenting a keyword, doing something with it, saving, sharing, whatever it might be, but it's clear. And you're going to make sure that you have a really good hook on it. So for me, I usually write my content ahead of time, and then I do take a few minutes to tweak it, add my emojis into the draft, make sure that my music is working for the reel that I've selected. So I give myself about a 10-minute window to actually post what I've created. So that's half your strategy in a 1-hour session. So again, the first part is going to be engaging with everybody from the day before, closing that out. Then it's doing your post, making sure you have a clear hook, making sure you have a clear call to action. Usually too, you can add it to your stories if you want to. You can add, you can save your own content if you want to. You can also make sure that you maybe make a comment on your own content. And there's also notes too now that you can use if you want to just draw attention to maybe something you said in the caption that isn't, maybe that might get mixed or like lost if people aren't really looking closely. So you have 10 minutes before you've engaged, you then do your post, and then 10 minutes after, you are going to engage with anyone immediately who's engaging in your content. So after you've posted it, you might be going into your stories, but you're also keeping an eye on the content to see if anyone's engaging with it, if anybody's asking questions, if anybody's commenting, if anyone's giving you some room on the platform to really work with. So you're going to spend a couple more minutes there. Then here is the rest of your strategy. And I find that when people engage, if they have it as a strategy, that's about where it ends. But I want to take it a little bit further. And I did do a post about this, and I divided the times up a little bit differently, but it really did work out to 1 hour. So you might play around with the times a little bit. So we've posted our relevant content, we've engaged before, we've engaged after, and we've engaged with those people who have maybe liked, who have commented, and we're even reciprocating on their platform. So when I talk about those times where I go 10 before, and then you post, and then 10 after, I might also be going to their platform and engaging with them. All right, so that's really about 30 minutes of the time. Then the next thing that I'm gonna do is I am going to go into my Instagram stories that are at the top of my page. And at this point, it shouldn't be just people that I look up to. It should really be ideal clients and team members. And I am going into their stories and I am engaging with them. I am not just watching them, I'm replying to them. If they have a poll, I'm responding to the poll. If they have a question that's relevant, I'm gonna answer the question. But I am spending a few minutes watching Instagram stories. And this might be 5 minutes, this might be 10 minutes, depending on where you are right now in the engagement strategy. I am going to watch Instagram stories and I am going to reply to them. Then, after I have done that, I'm going to go into some larger accounts. And I find this to be really a great opportunity for your business, where I am going to go into a larger account that I follow that may or may not relate directly back to what I do. But it is never going to be somebody who is in the same business model as me. So it's not necessarily going to be somebody who is in the same company. And I really encourage you not to be there, because they are selling the same product, they're endorsing the same opportunity. But I am going to go to a few large accounts that I know my ideal client or team member is probably going to like or engage with as well. And I always give this example because it works so well. There's a woman, she's a Christian author, and her name is Jenny Allen. And I have loved her so much as an author. She's really just shifted my mindset on faith and business ownership and relationships. And I genuinely go and engage with her account because she is just a breath of fresh air for me as a business owner and just as a female. And so if she posts something, I might engage with her, not because I think that it's like what I do, because it really isn't. She isn't selling what I sell, but she is somebody that I know my ideal client would probably engage with. Because my goal with commenting on her content is to start conversation, or at least to be seen in the feed. And so when you're putting genuine comments onto other people's content, larger accounts, and it's a thought-provoking comment, it bumps up in the comments. So I encourage you to engage with other people's content of larger accounts, not because you're searching for that large account to become a consumer or to become a team member. Of course, anything's possible. But you're doing it because you want to be seen by people who are very likely going to be your ideal client or team member. Okay, so I'm going to spend a few minutes engaging with larger accounts. Then I am going to blank slate it. I am going to go into my Explore button, and if you don't know how to get there, you just click the magnifying glass on the back or on the bottom of the home screen. When you get to that magnifying glass, your Explore pops up. And here's the thing about your Explore button. It actually indicates sort of what you should or will likely engage with based on your viewing history. So it should be sending you accounts that will likely be accounts that you're going to engage with. If you go to your Explore button and you go, man, these people are nothing like me, they are nothing like the people that I want to serve, you might be looking at, you might want to take a step back and actually think about what you're consuming, because it might not be working for you. If your Explore button is in no way a reflection of the type of service that you offer, there's probably a disconnect in some way. So I'm going to go onto the Explore button, and I'm going to go to pages that I'm not necessarily following, and they're complementary to me in some way. So if I'm in the fitness and health industry, it might be a really large fitness-based account, and it would very likely be something that my ideal client or team member would be engaging with. But it isn't one that I follow yet. So I'm going to go onto the Explore page, and I'm just going to take a few minutes to do this. And I am actually going to engage with their accounts. And I'm going to engage with probably the things that I see in the Explore button, because they're already trending. They're already things that Instagram is saying, this is highly viewed, people like this is proven. If it landed in your Explore, it's probably a good piece of content to engage with. So I'm going to spend maybe about 5 minutes doing that. And then the final thing that I am going to do is I am going to research some popular content in my niche and save it to my collections. And it has been made super simple for you, and I'm going to walk you through how to do it. If you go to your professional dashboard on your home screen, so here's my home screen, and I click on my professional dashboard, I'm going to scroll down to where it says inspiration. And there are 3 areas for me to look at. There is content that's similar to my content. There is content that is popular with the followers. and then it is suggested for you. And oh, look, Melanie Mitro is one of the suggested for me pieces of content. And anything that I go, okay, I could imagine redoing something like this, but totally putting my spin on it, not copying. I want to be clear about that. I'm going to maybe engage with it. I'm gonna maybe like just write something about it, but then I am going to save it to my collections. And I'm gonna look at my calendar, my marketing calendar, and say, is this something that I saved that eventually I could go back and recreate? And I'm going to do just that. So in 1 hour as a direct seller, can you imagine shifting from mindless scrolling into very intentional engagement? And so I want to walk through these things again. And then I want you to kind of say, okay, well, what will my time look like for each of these based on maybe the engagement that I'm getting right now and where I want to take my business. So again, we have the hamburger. We're going to post for 10 minutes before. We're going to do our posts, and then we're going to engage for 10 minutes after. Then we are going to watch Instagram stories and we're going to reply to them. Then I'm going to go to larger accounts that I follow and I'm going to have conversations in the comments section, genuine conversations. I'm going to see what people who are commenting or like or how they are, or what their comments are. I'm going to comment on their stuff too that they left in the comments section. Then I'm going to go to the explore page and I'm going to engage with accounts that I don't yet follow. And finally, I'm going to spend a little bit of time researching popular content that's within my niche, and I'm going to save it to my collections as inspiration for later. And that's really my 1 hour engagement strategy on Instagram. Now, if you're saying, I don't have an hour, bucket this out differently. Instead of 10 minutes on something, you spend 5 minutes on something. You can do this in a smaller window of time, but the goal is you have to do it. You have to do it, because if you don't, Instagram, no matter how great your content is going to know that you are a consumer and not necessarily just a collaborator. Instagram profits off of a collaborative environment. And if you aren't cultivating that community, if you aren't going out and collaborating, it's not going to work in your favor. Okay? So I just want to remind you of that. And I also want to make sure that you know that if there are questions that you have, ask them. We are here for you every single step of the way. If you have questions, drop them below. I'll be sure to help you answer. But I want to see your content be more visible. And the only way to do it, if you really feel like it's pretty good content, something still feels like it's missing, I can almost 99% guarantee it has something to do with engagement. Okay, I really hope that this training helped. We'll make sure that we get it up inside of the Content Coaching Corner so that you have access to it as well. All right, you guys, have a great day.